What is up, friends? Today I want to talk about the importance of our personal values, or more specifically, knowing what our personal values are. And to try and explain the importance of these and where you can actually start using them in your day-to-day life, I'm going to tell a story. Now, this story is hypothetical, but it was one that's coming from the heart from myself. So, I want you to imagine that a person gets up one morning and they walk into the bathroom. When they walk into the bathroom, they get a glimpse of themselves in the mirror and they feel a couple of things. They feel unhappy with how they look, they feel unhealthy, and they feel like that they should do something about it. Now, this person has two main options. Option one is the option that we would all expect. It's to go, start change how they're eating, have a look at their diets, diet habits and their day-to-day exercise habits, and try and tweak and adjust so that they become and move closer to that person that they ultimately want to become. And that is generally the option that most people take. However, we also have option two. And option two is where actually, if that person feels like they should be somebody who is maybe a little bit thinner, they should be somebody who is a little bit fitter, they should be somebody who has more energy and is more active day to day, well actually, maybe that answer isn't as clear cut. Maybe option two is something that they should be looking into. And the reasoning for that is because of all the shoulds. They don't necessarily know why or have a true understanding of why they want to do all those things, but they just have a feeling inside them that something's not quite right. This is where personal values come into play. So personal values are a set of behaviors or beliefs or principles that we have inside of ourselves, which have been shaped over our experiences and the life that we have lived thus far. And these values just help shape essentially not only who we are, but where we ultimately place our value in the world around us. For some people, that might be trustworthiness, it might be hard work, it might be being dedicated to something. For others, it might be being fit, healthy, active. It might be that you're loving, friendly. There's any amount of them. But in this particular example, the danger that we have is that if we don't know what those values are, if we don't know what we're trying to align ourselves to, well, now we're in a little bit of a pickle. Because if it's a case of that person in my hypothetical story, actually their values don't have them think that actually they should lose weight, that they actually are happy with how they look, but actually their issue then in that example isn't how they look, but it's their perception of how they look to other people, well, that's where their actual problem is. So if they were to go down the road of actually addressing their weight, addressing their fitness, and changing their exercise regime, that will obviously come with benefits, but it's not going to solve the issue for them because their issue isn't in that space at all. Their issue is being embarrassed or anxious or concerned about how they're perceived by others. And actually, they would be better served spending time digging into where those feelings are coming from and really understanding why they feel like they're falling short of the mark that they would ultimately like to be in. Now, finding our values is relatively simple to do. I do have some toolkits and some systems that are coming our way. They're not quite ready yet. So in lieu of that, what I would recommend is just start thinking about this stuff. Just have a think about what you find valuable in terms of the traits, the behaviors, the values that you think are important to you. And actually just starting to get that ball rolling by just starting to think about, what do I actually really want to be? Who do I want to be in life? And that will go so far in helping you decide what decision you ultimately should make when it comes to solving problems that exist in your life. That's it for this week, folks. For some of the more I suppose people who can spot the little nuances of videos, you'll notice that I'm using a new camera this week. Apologies if it comes across quite poorly. I'm still trying to learn how to set it up. And similarly enough, I also have a microphone coming. I had hoped it had been here, but it's not quite here just yet. So apologies for that. But slowly but surely, we'll get closer to where we ultimately want to go with these videos. But I hope that was helpful. The recommendation for this week is to spend a little bit of time thinking about your values, and you really do not know that the impact that can have when it comes to helping you solve your problems. That's it for this week, folks. Have a great week, and until next week, I'll talk to you soon.